How to use the OKR Progress Charts report in UpRaise. I have opened the report screen under the UpRaise app. And here you'll notice there is this OKR Progress Charts report. We are going to talk about this report in detail in this video. So let me click on this report and immediately I'm brought to a page that has a bunch of filters and a chart. Let's first look at these filters. Here it says what type of view do you want to look at? Do you want to look at the current progress? Do you want to look at progress over time, that is week over week, month over month, quarter over quarter? What level of objectives do you want to be displayed on the screen? Is there any specific status that you want to filter on, and any specific objective cycle that you want to get selected here? As soon as you land here, the default options are current progress, corporate level, and the objective cycle, whichever is active at the moment, that is automatically chosen. In case of current progress, you simply see column charts for each of the objectives, right? So right now at the corporate level in this cycle, there are two objectives: ferocious speed and obsessive customer focus, and their current progress is displayed in this column chart. I can, let's say, switch to the team level view, and immediately I'll be able to see all the teams that have objectives in the given cycle. So HR team has 3 objectives, marketing team has 3 objectives, sales and customer success department has 1 objective, product team has 1 objective, software development team has 1 objective, and software QA department has 1 objective. So all of such teams will appear in here. So in case, for example, if we look at the marketing team, you can easily see or compare the progress made on these different objectives that they own in the given cycle. Now, if I were to switch this from current progress to week over week, you will notice a useful graph, a useful line chart. Now, let me explain to you why this is useful. If you're looking at the current progress, it's the comparison of current progress is useful only if there is some kind of comparison to be made, right? At the time of execution, you're not really worried about whether one of the objectives for the marketing team is at 20%, another objective has 50%. What you're looking for is how do you move them forward since you are still in the middle of the execution? How do you make progress on these objectives, right? And that is where the progress over time line charts come into the picture. Depending on the duration of your objectives, let's say if your objectives are quarterly, then obviously looking at the progress in terms of week over week growth is useful. If your objectives are, let's say, annual or even beyond that, because typically at corporate levels, we have seen some organizations who create goals, corporate level goals that span across 2-3 years. In such a scenario, quarter over quarter is probably a better point of view. In this case, where we have quarterly objectives created, let's look at the week over week progress. You'll notice for the marketing team, right up until the 3rd week, there was no progress at all. The yellow objective that had no progress up until the 4th week, and in the 5th week, it has hit the 22% mark. If I were to scroll down a little bit, I would actually want to showcase an ideal line chart. If you look at the software development team's objective, feature and bug fixes with consistent speed are delivered. It has been growing upwards right since the 2nd week. And this is how the ideal chart would look like, because you would want to hit the 100 number as soon as possible. So you can utilize this chart to have quick catch-ups with relevant individuals and ensure that if any course correction is required, if any resource mobilization is required, that happens. So for example, for this objective, build and develop partnerships, it went up to 13% in the 4th week, but then in the 5th week, it failed down to 6.67%. So you can have a quick conversation with the owner of this objective, understand what went wrong, if they need any kind of help, and utilize this during the time of execution to ensure there is progress, right? So you can do this at the team level objective. If you also have individual level objectives, you can do that as well. However, the intention behind looking at this OKR progress charts is to ensure that at the time of execution, you are making consistent progress on your objectives. I can switch this to month over month, quarter over quarter, but it won't make sense in this situation because all these objectives are quarterly. I hope that was helpful. Thank you.